welcome back. And this is Traveling with the
Recios.
Coming back for another episode, guys. And as we always do, every time we do a visit to a country, we do kind of like a Q&A session of the country with some general questions that you guys might have, that we had before we traveled. And we just want to give you some general information about El Salvador, our trip. It was an amazing trip, a 7-day trip. And honestly, it was one of our favorite trips ever, right? Probably our favorite Central America country that we visited so far.
Definitely mine.
Small, but packs a big punch, guys. It is amazing. So many things to do. What did you think about El Salvador?
Loved it. It was so beautiful. The moment you get out of the airport, exiting the airport, all you see is like green, everything clean, beautiful, nature. I loved it. It was actually, I was telling Yandro earlier that it was my favorite Central American country.
Yeah.
The other ones that we visited were amazing in its own ways, but El Salvador, I don't know if it had to do with the pupusas that I love, but it was just beautiful.
We ate a lot of pupusas, guys, a lot. So get ready to eat a lot of pupusas.
Yeah, I didn't get tired of pupusas.
They're like Mexican tacos. You eat them and you feel like you're never going to eat them again, but then you keep eating them, and you're just, every day you have pupusas.
Addicting.
They're very, very addicting.
Yeah.
With that said, let's go on with some questions, right, about El Salvador?
Let's do it.
Alrighty, guys. So first question, is El Salvador safe to travel, right? This is probably one of the most asked questions about El Salvador. Obviously, it was one of the worst countries to travel a couple of years ago, honestly. Not even,
not that
long ago.
Yeah.
And then Bukele changed it around. Bukele is the president of El Salvador. And right now, it is honestly one of the safest countries to travel to, especially in Central America. It's probably the safest one. And probably, honestly, in the world, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what do you think about El Salvador?
It was extremely safe. We walked everywhere.
Yeah.
We would sit outside in the porch at night. It felt safe. The people were extremely friendly. One of the excursions that you did to the volcano, Grace and I stayed behind in the Airbnb, and then we decided to call an Uber. We decided to book an Uber and go to the closest Starbucks, just Grace and I. So we did that. Then we drove to, I think it was La Libertad.
Dunco.
No, then we took another Uber to Dunco, and we just walked around, had lunch by ourselves, and I felt extremely safe. So
yeah, all throughout the trip, every city we visited, even San Salvador, the main city, which is usually, main cities are usually not the safest places, but we felt super safe. We went to the local market, which was not the prettiest place, but still felt super safe.
It was very busy.
Very, very busy.
But safe.
Yeah. We definitely had a good experience in El Salvador, safe-wise, right?
Yeah. I don't think there was any moment where we felt unsafe or...
Not one moment. Everybody's super friendly, super chill, super down to earth.
People want to talk to you.
Very welcoming. So yeah, guys, at least we didn't have any worries in regards to safety during our trip.
No.
And like every trip, guys, don't wear anything fancy, right? We went in like shorts, flip-flops. It's a very chill country, laid back, shirt, shorts, flip-flop. I didn't wear any watches. I obviously had my phone with me, but no jewelry.
Even then, like, the crime rate right now is so low that it's not like something, you're not afraid to get robbed or anything, honestly. No. But still, we don't like wearing flashy things when we travel because we don't want that kind of attention.
Exactly. All right. So, second question. Do you need a visa to enter El Salvador?
No, you don't. If you're in the US, Canada, or Europe, right? Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, you don't need a visa. The only thing is when you get there, you do need to purchase it's a tourist card, which is $12 per person, which you pay there. And I believe you can pay with cash or credit card. $12. And I believe it's going to change soon, or it already changed, where you're not even going to have to pay these $12 anymore. It's going to be basically, for free to go into El Salvador. So, all right.
And you pay for it in the customs, right?
Yeah, customs. You pay for it in customs, right? As
when
you
come
in.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, so next question. Is El Salvador kid friendly?
I would say it's 100% kid friendly. From the food to the attractions, they have like the really large library, beautiful in
the San Salvador.
Very tailored to kids. They have like I think like 3 floors just for kids.
Yeah, incredible library that they just built in the main city of Elsalvador. And it is beautiful. Honestly, it is as nice as any library that we've been to in the States here in the U.S.
Or nicer.
Or nicer.
They have like a Harry Potter area, superheroes, Legos.
Yeah.
I mean, and aside from that, everywhere we went to, like, it was kid-friendly, really.
Yeah, kid-friendly. The activities that we did, I did some hiking with Jason to the Santa Ana volcano. They allowed kids. He was able to do it. We also did the waterfalls in Huayua, the 7 waterfalls. Incredible, guys.
The guide was so helpful and so friendly. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a kid-friendly country. Next question. What is the best time to visit El Salvador?
You answer that one.
All right, so we went in November. We went during Thanksgiving week, and it's the dry season. So we definitely, usually when you visit these countries in Central America, you know, we've been to the wet season, for example, in Nicaragua, and it rained a lot.
Yes.
A lot.
And when you're driving and you don't know the country, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
We always try to visit countries during their dry season.
Yeah, so it was awesome. It did not rain not one time. There was blue bird skies every single day. Honestly, the weather couldn't have been any better.
It wasn't too hot.
It wasn't too hot. And up in the mountains, obviously, it's a lot cooler. Up in Huayua and Coatepeque. And then when you get down to the beach, obviously, it's kind of hot. It's humidity. You know, it's, like I said, it's coastal weather.
Yeah.
But overall, the weather was amazing. So definitely recommend from November to April is the dry season. And then May to October is the wet season. But yeah, definitely you can visit anytime. And the roads are super safe over there. The highways are super nice.
Very good condition.
Very good
condition. I don't think we've had any area where
no dirt roads or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's little areas where there's dirt roads, but not the main highway or the main streets or the main cities. Everything is paved. So, all right, next question. What are the top places to visit in El Salvador? I can answer that.
I'll answer the first one. Ruta de las Flores was very, very nice. They have little, I wouldn't say like pueblecitos, little towns that you visit, Spanish towns. For example, Huayua, Salcoatitan, now is Salco, Apaneca, and Ataco. Sorry for the pronunciation. It's a little hard to pronounce some of these names. But we had a great day trip in Ruta de las Flores. Very cute. Every little town is a little different than the next. They have vendors, local markets. We tried the food. It was a lot of fun.
Every little town is different.
Very colorful. Yeah.
It's really nice. Also visit Lake Coatepeque. We stayed there for 2 days. Beautiful lake. Obviously, it's not a lake. It's a crater. It used to be a volcano, and now it's a crater. But it is beautiful, stunning Lake Coatepeque. And yeah, you got to visit La Unión, which is basically it's a small little city that borders Honduras and Nicaragua. And then you can do, like we did the camping.
That was a cool experience.
El Espíritu de la Montaña, which you camp all the way up in a volcano, and you're overlooking basically the ocean. You're overlooking 3 countries. You're in El Salvador, overlooking Honduras, and overlooking Nicaragua. And you're going to get probably the best sunrises and sunsets you'll ever see in your life.
It was
absolutely like I just got chills. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Incredible. And the camping experience is 1 day, 100%.
I was surprised because I was worried. I'm like, oh my God, we don't have any of our camping gear. It's gonna be so uncomfortable. The kids sleeping, you know. It was so relaxing. First of all, they give you a very clean tent, very clean mattresses, you know. So
yeah, the tent was in perfect condition. Like you don't have any holes or anything. It's like a brand new tent.
Yeah.
And they have food there. They have snacks you can buy. They have bathrooms. It's very, very comfortable.
Yeah.
And
we ate dinner there. We had breakfast. The food was good.
Yeah.
Not too many options, but it was good.
Yeah,
so
it's only 1 night. So
yeah.
Yeah, definitely recommend that. And obviously, you want to visit Santa Ana volcano. It is the highest peak in El Salvador. I did that with Jason. You want to visit El Tunco, which is probably the most popular beach town in El Salvador. We stayed in La Libertad, which was like 15 minutes away from El Tunco. So we went back and forth. And you want to obviously visit San Salvador, which is the main city of El Salvador. There's a lot of things to do. Visit the Green Library. No, I'm sorry. Visit the library. Visit Centro Histórico, the center of the historic center, and obviously the markets.
El Tunco was very memorable. We went during an afternoon, and we were able to see the sunset by the beach. It was filled with like surfers. We got some really nice pictures. Then they have a bunch of little local restaurants, maybe like a tidbit pricier than your regular mom and pop place because it's in a touristy area, but still very affordable. So we had pupusas there. They were amazing. And yeah, it was a lot of fun walking around and just kind of seeing the sunset, taking it all in. It was pretty. You're
gonna get the best sunsets and sunrises you've ever seen in your life in El Salvador. Honestly, it's
mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing, honestly. So next question, what currency is used in El Salvador?
US dollars, which is so convenient. There's no confusion. I remember a lot of the street vendors, most things are like $1, $2.
So they use the dollar coin over there a lot, which is this big old coin that's $1. And yeah, they use dollars, and they use a lot of places take credit cards. Most restaurants take credit cards, but you definitely want to take some currency, some dollars, some US dollars.
A lot of change because things are cheap. They're very affordable. So.
Yes, things are $3, $4, $5, $1. So you definitely want to take small bills, no large bills.
Yeah.
What is the transportation like in El Salvador, and how did we
get around?
How did we get around? So, you want to answer that?
Yeah.
So yeah, we obviously got around. We rented a car, super affordable for a week. It cost us $300. And yeah, it's super easy to drive. There is a lot of traffic in El Salvador. I will say that, a lot of traffic, especially around San Salvador. If you're like passing by San Salvador, you're gonna get traffic. So yeah, you definitely want to average in some extra time when you're getting around places, especially if you gotta be somewhere at a certain time. We almost missed our excursion to El Espíritu de la Montaña because the traffic was horrendous.
That's right.
And we needed to get there by a certain time, and
there were like road closures, but like everywhere. So every time we try to make it to a different route, it was closed. It was crazy.
So there is a lot of traffic. So yeah, be mindful of that. So there's also local buses that you can take. They're called chicken buses. I don't know if you guys watched our Guatemala videos. There's a lot of chicken buses everywhere in Central America. They also use that. There's private shuttles. There's taxis, Uber. All you need is the Uber app, and that's mostly what we used when we were in the La Libertad area in Tunco. Super, super affordable. So is El Salvador expensive to visit?
I would say it's not at all.
No. Like probably the most affordable Central American country we visit so far.
And you would think that because they use dollars, it's more expensive. It's not the case. No. I think we spent so little on food, and we ate so much. We had so much fruit. We had a lot of pupusas, which is their main, food there. Yeah,
they're literally, pupusas are like 30 cents to $1, depending what pupusa you get.
Yeah.
But literally, you get like 3 revueltos, and they're like 30 cents each, like $1 for 3 pupusas are like huge. And
I think the most expensive meal we had in El Salvador was Pizza Hut, and it made us all sick. Grace throwing up.
That was our most expensive meal.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. The food was so good.
Yeah.
And we ate other things other than pupusas. Every dish we had was good.
Yeah, we ate a lot of local dishes, and everything was super good. There's hostels, a lot of hostels in El Salvador, $10 to $20 a night. There's hotels. We stayed mostly in Airbnbs, and super, super affordable. They're mostly like, our Airbnbs were like $50 a night.
Yeah, we had like views, and
we did stay in one that was a little more expensive, the one in Coatepeque, but you basically had a private house and you had lakefront access. So it was 100% worth it. Meals are super affordable. They're like $3 to $10 depending on what kind of meal you're getting. Obviously, if you go to a fancy, there are fancy restaurants like everywhere in the world. We like local restaurants, and everything is like, mostly everything was like $3 to $5. Yeah. The local transportation is less than $1. We didn't get any local transportation. We mostly drove around our car and took an Uber. Alrighty, so is El Salvador good for surfing?
Yes. It's very good for surfing. We don't surf, but we saw a bunch of people surfing in most of the beaches that we went to. It was really, really beautiful to see.
Yeah, El Salvador is world-class surfing destination, guys. Basically, every beach you can surf it. And there's surfers everywhere. Very chill, very laid-back towns. That's what we like.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't try any surfing in El Salvador. We didn't have enough time. I would have liked to. But we didn't have enough time in this trip. We did stay in La Libertad, which we had ocean. Basically, we were right in front of the ocean. It was incredible because we were seeing surfers every morning and every afternoon.
Hearing the waves. The beach was like not too rough.
No, not too rough.
In that beach. And the beach we were staying at in the Airbnb, so we were able to get in the afternoons.
Surprisingly warm. The water was warm. I expected the water to be like cooler since it's like Pacific Ocean. It was actually pretty warm.
It was really nice.
Super, super relaxing and enjoyable. You know, you're not like they're freezing cold.
And it was safe enough for all of us to get in the water. The waves weren't too bad at that beach.
At that beach. We got in there in the low tide. So any beach that you go to, you kind of want to look at the tides. And from what we've been told, you want to go at the low tides.
So how much did we spend in this whole week in El Salvador?
All right, so total vacation, guys, 7 days. We're talking about everything, the flight, the transportation, food, everything we spent there. We spent a total for 4 people, family of 4, 2 kids and 2 adults. We spent $3,097 for 7 days, guys. Incredibly affordable and super nice. Like I said, it's so far our favorite Central American country.
I would love to go back.
We visit, we rarely say that we're going to go back and visit certain places, but El Salvador is definitely one of them that we're going to definitely visit again. And there's a lot more to do that we didn't have time to do. Like I said, it's a small country, but it has so much to do, and people are so nice. And we definitely recommend you guys to visit El Salvador. We loved it, and we hope you guys visit one day. And if you guys have any questions, please let us know. Drop a comment. Obviously, like and share the video.
And if you have any cool facts about El Salvador, any stories, like please feel free to share.
Anything that we missed, definitely let us know because we're gonna visit again.
We always like to learn more and experience more. So let us know.
Let us know, guys. So we're gonna start our next series, which is
Ecuador.
Ecuador, guys. We went to Ecuador for about almost 2 weeks. And it was incredible. South America, it was awesome. We're going to start dropping off those videos. Sorry, we took kind of like a 2-week break. The kids started school. It's been crazy. Yeah, so we're back at it with the videos again. And, we hope you guys enjoy them. So with that said, thank you so much for watching our videos and supporting our channel. And thank you so much for traveling with us.
Gracias.
Bye.